Hey Data Jackets, it's me Vidal Mendez, and welcome back to another episode of the MSA Alumni Spotlight series. Today we have another special guest join with us here today. We have Gabriella.
Hi, so nice to meet you, Vidal. I'm happy to be here as part of the series. My name's Gabriella Runnels. I am a principal data scientist at American Eagle Outfitters. I did the MSA program with Georgia Tech coming up on 10 years ago, which is kind of crazy. And I've had a couple of jobs since then, but most recently I've been at American Eagle for about 5 or 6 years.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gabriella. And just to jump into our first question of the MSA Alumni Spotlight series. So you've built your career in Atlanta working across analytics, consulting, data science, and now supply chain AI for a global retailer. So where are you based now, and what is your current role?
So currently I am in a small town in East Tennessee called Kingsport. So my entire time with American Eagle, I've been lucky enough to work remote, even before COVID actually. And they have supported me moving to various places. So I'm in Tennessee, work remote. I travel in maybe once a quarter.
So we know that your work spans across machine learning, optimization, and deploying AI-powered applications in real-world supply chain operations. Currently, how do you use analytics and data science in your day-to-day work as a senior manager leading developers and data scientists?
Yes, so I have a team of data scientists these days, and the primary value that we add to American Eagle is building AI-powered applications to solve various supply chain problems. So what those applications look like in terms of the specific technology that we use to deploy and host changes, depending on the specific use case. But in general, we are always building some kind of machine learning or optimization algorithm or engine. We allow for human intervention and overrides by the business users, and then some kind of output that either directly feeds into the systems that make decisions or maybe just creates a report of actionable insights. So that's essentially what we do. We've solved various supply chain problems with this basic framework, and it works really well.
Awesome. That's really cool to hear. And moving on to our third question of the interview. So, what do you enjoy mostly about your job, and specifically, what are the parts that where you get to work with data, modeling, and decision science?
So what I really like about my current job is that it feels very connected to something in the real world. So we are modeling supply chains for fashion. So we really think about how the garments are made, how they're packed, how they're shipped overseas, how they go to the warehouses and eventually end up on someone's doorstep. So it's really great to be able to see in the data a model of this very tangible, very real world system. I'm also a big customer of American Eagle Outfitters. So I like the clothes, and it's always fun to create models with data that's actually about something I care about.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Moving on to question four, thinking back to your time during the MSA program, where you were a John Morris Fellow, a Speaker Series Coordinator, and a GSGA Senator, what was one of your favorite memories, whether that is academic, social, or professional?
This is a sentimental question. As I mentioned, it's been about a decade since I was in the program, which feels insane. I did get involved in a lot of extracurricular stuff like the Senate and things like that. But my favorite memories are just studying with my classmates or hanging out after class. I made really, really good friends in the program who I'm still connected with today. So just any memories with those guys are my favorites.
That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. All right, moving on to our fifth question. So you've worked in consulting, product development, and now leadership and supply chain AI. What is one piece of advice you'd give to a current MSA student or anyone that's hoping to break into data science, and specifically within the supply chain or optimization role?
I can strongly recommend Georgia Tech as the program. I think that the supply chain and industrial engineering landscape in Atlanta and specifically connected to Georgia Tech is world class. There's a ton of companies that have a very strong relationship with Georgia Tech in general and the MSA program in particular. I did not set out to go into supply chain specifically. I just wanted to go into data science. I didn't have a particular industry in mind, but the caliber of instruction in industrial engineering and supply chain at Georgia Tech was so great, and the network with companies was so robust that that just kind of is the path I ended up taking. And now I feel like I really know a lot about supply chain, which is great.
Perfect. And then moving on to our last and final question. Which MSA class, skill, or project has had the biggest impact on helping you land your first data science role or help you go into your current leadership position?
It's hard to pick just one because what I think that the MSA does so well is balances a lot of different important skills, whether that's computer programming, analytics and analytical models and statistical models, as well as the sort of soft skills around presentation, communication, professionalism, things like that. For me, I think what I found most helpful was probably the programming aspects. I would say of those three major categories of skills, that's where I needed the most improvement. And I found the teaching in R, Python, and SQL to be very accessible and set me on a path to success to actually be able to truly build and deploy real data science models in the real world.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Gabriella, for your amazing answers and advice for our MSA students. And we're super glad to share your story with our MSA alum and also current students as well.
Thanks
And
so
with
much
that,
for having me.
right, with that being said, thank you, Data Jackets, for watching. We'll see you guys in the next time.
Thank you.